Hi, welcome to the Black Boogie channel. In today's video, we're going to explain how to use the 4-cable method between the Line 6 Helix and your Mesa Boogie Rectifier. So stay tuned. This video is going to be divided into sections. On the first section, I am going to show you how to connect the Line 6 Helix with your amplifier using the 4 cables. And on the second part of the video, I'm going to show you how to program the Helix so that you can work with signals in front of the amp and out of the amp. Also, I am going to show you how I approach the 4-cable method using what I call the 5-cable method, in which you can use the Helix also with your scenes mode so that you can change channels and scenes with just the touch of a button. Okay, in this part of the video, I am going to show you how to connect your Helix and your rectifier using the 4-cable method. The first cable will go connected from the guitar straight to the guitar in on the Helix. So we got the Helix, we got guitar in right here. So guitar in, the other side goes to the guitar. The second cable will go from the send of the Helix. Here we got the send and returns of the Helix. You will notice that the Helix has 4 effect loops. 1, 2, 3, and 4. In this video, we are only going to use a send and return 1. So we have the send here, we're connected. The other side of the cable will go to the input of the rectifier, which means the input of the amp. So it will go in front. The next cable will go from the send of the amplifier. We have here the return and the send. So this third cable will go from the send of the amplifier to the return of the Helix, which is here. We're going to do the first one to the return. And now the fourth cable will go to the line out of the Helix. Line out, we got it here, which is the left and mono. This one will go to the return of the amp. Here. Even though it may seem like a lot of cables, it really makes all the logic in the world, because it goes with the following logic. You have your guitar. Your guitar goes straight to the Helix, which is cable number 1. The guitar to the guitar in of the Helix. Once you have the effect on the Helix, the second cable will go from the send of the Helix. The Helix is sending that signal to the input of the amp, which is on front. So now you have the guitar to the Helix, which is throwing the signal from the send to the input of the amplifier. Then you have the third cable, which is the send of the amp, which is here, that goes straight to the return of the Helix, which is here. And then the Helix have that other signal go straight to the out of the Helix and into the return of your amplifier. Now that you have all the connections ready and set up, now you have to program the Helix. So in this example, I'm going to show you first what I have here. We have here 4 cable. Let's activate everything so that you can see it on the video. And here we have we put a distortion, the Screamo 8, then another distortion, then a modulation, and then you will see that you have a send and a return number 1. Then we have a modulation, we have a delay, we have reverb, we have a noise gate, and then we ended up with another send and return, but this one says return while the first one said send, and also send 1 because we are using the effects loop number 1 of the Helix. So send 1, and here on the bottom return 1. This is key. So what it means is that whatever you have before the send will be prior to the amplifier. All the effects that you have between the after the send and before the return, which will be this one, will be sent on the back on the amplifier, which will be effects that will be read in the effects loop of the amp. We already know how to find this, but how do you find the send and returns? Well, in the same way. Let's start a new one. Okay, let's start a new preset. We have this new preset. Let's put on a distortion, and let's put on a modulation, tremolo. Okay, so we want those two effects to go before the signal to the amplifier. So we press here, and then we search, send and return. We press send and return, then again mono. And this is important because it will tell you if you want it to go from which effects loop they're going to use. Effects loop send 1 is effect loop number 1. Send 2 is effects loop number 2. Send 3 is effect loop number 3, and the same for the 4th. So we are going to use effect loop number 1, so we press send 1. So if you put the connections right, all of this will be heard before the signal. Then everything that goes afterwards will be heard on the effect loop of the amplifier. So again, let's put on a chorus, and then let's search for the return. No. Since we use send 1, we're going to use return 1. And there you go. That's how you do it. Now I'm going to explain how to use the 5 cable method. You already know how to use the 4 cable method, so that you can have effects before and after the signal. But in the 5 cable method, you will be able to use the Helix also as a switching station. And if you use the Helix as a switching station using the scenes mode, then you will be able to do this. For example, in here we have the rhythm channel, and if we press rhythm channel, we will have change the channel on the rectifier. This will go to the 4th channel and have a tube screamer in front of it. If we press the second button which says lead, it will change to the 3rd channel of the rectifier, had a different pedal there, and then if we press wah, it will stay on the 3rd channel of the rectifier, but it will have not only a distortion pedal in front but also a phaser. And if we press clean here, it will change to the 1st channel of the rectifier, and effects will be read for the clean channel after the signal, so they will be on the effect loop. And we will have in there a modulation, a chorus, a delay, a reverb, and also a noise gate. And you can see that in here we got the return. So the key to be able to do this is to program your different channels of your amplifier on the Helix. For example, the rhythm channel that I use is the fourth channel of the Rectifier roadster. So I have it programmed here, and if I press this button, it will change to the fourth channel of the rectifier. If I press this button, it will change to the third channel of the rectifier, which is the one that I use for the lead tones. If you want to know how to change the channels of your rectifiers using your Helix as the foot switch, just go to my channel and look at the video that I have especially for doing this. And also, if you want to know how to use this scenes mode or snapshots of the Helix, go to my channel. I have 2 videos explaining on detail how to do this.